It's just one of those days today. I'm having like a really chill day. Anyway, hi guys, it's Holly. How are you doing? What have you been up to? That's a really cool shirt you're wearing, by the way. Looks great. By the way, does anyone want a balloon animal monkey? No? Oh, that's a shame. I made it myself. Anyway, so today I really wanted to do something fun, something interesting, you know, mix it up. And I wanted to try and make this Patronus piece actually glow. And unlike making the flying forwards fly, it's gonna be a lot more fake. So LEGO has made 3 Patronus pieces now, and the only downside to them is that they don't actually glow. I know, I can't imagine why they didn't make them glow. So fun fact about me is I have worked as a visual effects artist before, and specifically I was a compositor. And for people who don't know what that means, let's take Infinity War for example. You have the actual on-set stuff with like Chris Pratt, Robert Downey Jr., Tom Holland, love him, which is all filmed on set behind a green screen. So basically what a compositor does is take all the CGI elements that a 3D artist has made and kind of just stick the 2 pictures together. So you like remove the green screen. You also do this thing called rotoscoping, which I'm not really going to go into, but basically you cut out the nice shape and stick it on, except it's a moving picture. So you have to do that for 24 frames and that gives you 1 second of footage. It can be painful. So recently I upgraded my DIY green screen to this like bright fluorescent green thing, and I've been playing around with it a lot on my Instagram. I took a photo of my Millennium Falcon and just stuck it in the sky. I recently did one as well with the Jewel on Mustafa set where I made the lightsabers glow and I stuck them on lava. I love playing around with green screens. It's a lot of fun, and since I have this like handy dandy skill set that I've kind of gained over the course of 2 years, I thought I would put it to use. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these Patronus pieces onto my little green screen, then I'm going to light them, which is the hardest part about any green screen footage, is lighting it. And I don't actually know how to light a green screen. This is all just trial and error. I know a bit about lighting things, but like not a lot. So I'm going to put them onto the green screen, take some photos of them, and then I'm going to go on my computer and I'm going to film myself, I'm going to film my screen and basically show you how I'm gonna do it, because I feel like this will be a really fun thing. So let's get some lights up in here. Let's start with you, mate. All right. Right, let's crank up the tunes. Light. God, that's bright. All right, firstly, if we have it like this, it's too low. Look at all the shadows we're gonna have. But if we have it like this, yeah, we're gonna get a better result. Because it's a Patronus, it's glowing blue. So I feel like we should set the lights to blue. Hello everyone and welcome to the set of the Phantom Menace. I want to bring the camera lower but I can't. So that's it for that guy. I hope this is just proof to you all that you don't need a proper green screen to do this. So the one thing that I think is really gonna help me do this is the fact that I set my lights to blue. And that's one thing I learned when I did my Jewel on Mustafa photo, is I set the lights to orange because I was like, well, they're on lava, so like there's gonna be a lot of glowing orange light. And it's very subtle in the final project, but it makes such a big difference. And that's the thing about visual effects, is that the tiniest things can make something look really real or really fake. Like Peter Cushing in Rogue One, for example. The fact that his top lip moves really funny, like, convinces you that it's fake, even though the rest of his face actually looks very real. Let's try out the first photo I took. Right, I'm just gonna drag and drop that into Photoshop. Okay, so the first thing that I wanna do, there's probably easier ways of doing this, is I wanna take the magic eraser tool and erase the background. And as you can see, it doesn't really quite hit all the green. You kind of gotta go over some areas. Then we'll take the eraser tool and kind of just get rid of this. Now the problem with these Patronus pieces as well is that they're translucent, and this is going to cause a lot of issues. One thing that I found to be really helpful when I did my Millennium Falcon was Lightroom, but the fact that you can't import a transparent PNG into Lightroom ruins it. It makes it so much harder because then you have this white background instead of your green screen, but all your green screen like bleeding is fixed. And green screen bleeding is basically, you can see like in his leg over here that you can see green through it. Or like basically if you light it wrong and there's like a reflection in the brick, which happens quite a lot because Lego is very shiny. Now something important to note as well is that I'm not professionally trained. Technically to an extent I am, but it's not like I went to film school or anything like that. I had the opportunity to, I could have if I wanted, but I didn't. All of my knowledge comes from practical experience and like working on projects. We got to get rid of this green screen spill. So we're going to go over to hue and saturation, and we're going to pick a bit on his ear. Now we don't want to turn the saturation down because the Patronus is blue. I'm going to change it to a bit more blue. Then I also want to go down to the greens and I want to make them bluer. And then what I need to do is get rid of the background, export as a PNG because you want it to be transparent, and I'm gonna call it, what's this one? It's not a doe, it's a deer. doe, a deer, a female deer. Let's create a new project. New composition. We're gonna call it deer. Then we need to import our photo. Okay, and then we're just gonna drag it onto our timeline. We have to auto trace it, but I can't remember where that section is. Auto trace, layer, auto trace. Let's go. Okay. So basically, you can see it's given us a little cutout. It's given us a mask. Then what I want to do is go into masks, copy that mask and put it onto our Patronus. So then what I need to do is you kind of need a little plugin if you want to do this yourself. It's called Saber. It's free. If I remember, I'll link it in the description for you. So then you drag Saber down onto your Patronus and it gives you this line, which looks a lot like a lightsaber, funnily enough. That's why it's called Saber. So then the first thing we want to do is change the render settings, go into composite settings and make it transparent. I mean, we don't have a background, so you can't really tell that it did anything. Customize core, layer masks. Voila. Then we're gonna go back to project, insert that same piece underneath, and there you have it. Although I kind of want to change that Patronus color to make it a bit more like the one in Lego. This is the part where you kind of just get to mess around with the settings. And there you go. There is your glowing Patronus. We add them into the thing. We then select our 2 layers, S, scale. You drag it down until you're happy. And then we can just kind of change its position. Export, add to render queue. Now here's the important part. Well, actually it's not really important. You want it to be a PNG. It will say sequence. It's not a sequence because we're only exporting 1 frame. It will be a photo. Render. 1 frame, it's really quick. Expecto Patronus! So here are the finished pictures. I'm really happy with how they turned out and I'm surprised I could actually remember most of the steps to get this done, which was really cool. I love doing stuff like this and like putting it up on Instagram. It's a lot of fun and it brings a whole new life to the Lego sets. Of course, if this was stop motion, it would look even better, but I'm not making a stop motion for this. So if anyone was wondering, yes, you can make the Patronuses glow and it's surprisingly easy. I hope you all enjoyed this video and hopefully it taught you something. I don't know what it would teach you, but hopefully something. If you enjoyed, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel down below. And that's all for today. Until my next video, I'll see you later.